The bumper music bringing us back from the break. It's called the Business to Business Network Show. My name is Rex Parry. If you just happen to turn on your radio, we give out names, phone numbers, talk about real estate here in the Valley Sun. Our co-host is
Jeff Obrasky, Homeowners Financial Group.
And our next guest is Paul. Introduce yourself, please.
I'm Paul Holmes with Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate.
Give us a little bit of background in real estate. How many years have you been doing this?
I'm 18 years in the industry. I'm, I guess, what you call a senior top producer. I've sold a lot of homes in the Valley. I wear out cars, basically.
And you have a lot of experience that can help people find what they're looking for.
I've worked with a lot of buyers this year, and somewhere over 300 homes helped people purchase.
Wow.
Well, we
And,
like guys
have a
like
view. Yeah, indeed. I have an interesting view on the marketplace today that
Excellent.
I'd like to share.
And just for people who aren't aware, because they're beginning to see the signs, Berkshire Hathaway, which is Warren Buffett's company, recently purchased Prudential, Arizona.
That's true.
So it is the old Prudential real estate. For those of you who are now seeing the signs going, well, where did that come from? Just an FYI. And by the way, Warren Buffett is a pretty good long-term track record, and he's investing in the real estate market. So probably not a bad idea for some of you
To get off the fence.
to do so as well.
It's a great time to buy, absolutely.
Before we talk about the take on the market, let's hear about the listing you've got first.
I have a new listing coming up. It's in Scottsdale. It's off of Via Linda and 120th. It's in the subdivision called Sonoran Arroyo. It'll be priced under $1 million.
Right up in the foothills there, right?
In the foothills
Yes,
area,
yep.
Absolutely. It is 4,400 square foot, single level, all the bells and whistles. It's definitely a have property, gated community. It's a wonderful home.
And in reality, you haven't put it on the MLS yet.
That's true.
So getting an opportunity to talk to Paul before it goes on the market is always a good thing. Let's get a phone number if they want to call and ask questions. It's under $1 million in a prime location, really. What's the phone number?
My cell is 602-315-8992.
Now, let's talk about your take on the market. What do you see out there working with the buyers and et cetera?
I have around 20 buyers sold this year, and between maybe 300 and 600,000. And almost every one of them has wanted a home that I'm going to call a have, where it has all the bells and whistles. Everything's done. It's pretty. It's clean. I buy the house. I take the key and I move my stuff in with no work. And that's a theme that's been going on now for almost 2 years in the Valley.
Interesting. And
People don't, in this part of the country, do not want to renovate their homes.
they don't
Okay,
want to buy a fixer-upper.
They don't want to. And even little stuff. I mean, people look at granite countertops as a big deal.
Yeah.
Right? If anyone's putting granite countertops, I mean, they're done in 2 days. You get one meal out with the kids at pizza one night when they put down the plywood and stuff, and they put the counters in the next day. It's just not a big deal. But, you know, people, I don't know whether it's convenience. It's probably a combination of convenience and cash.
Yeah.
And not really understanding what things really cost too, because I think there's a misconception about what updating costs versus a total remodel.
Versus a total
I
remodel.
mean, you can do an awful lot with $10,000
Yeah.
in your average $300,000 house, short of tearing out the kitchen and redoing all the bathrooms and that kind of thing. And financing, honestly, has not been there for renovation loans except for an FHA 203K, which is kind of capped out at $270. Your $400,000, $500,000 Fannie Mae products, there's not been a great availability. Home equity lines are not nearly as prevalent as they used to be, though they are beginning to come back. We have one investor, for example, that will do a 90% loan to value on a jumbo product, which is kind of nice. Let's say your client's buying a $500,000 house, and they were going to put down the $100,000 to have a conventional loan to begin with. So they're putting down 20%. Okay, we can use the same appraisal that we use for that purchase, send it out to our investors as long as it's within 90 days of purchase. They can pull 10% of it back out in terms of a credit line.
And you get the cash
And
back.
there's your $50,000. You don't have mortgage insurance on your primary loan. They'll pay down the equity line more quickly. Creative products like that will help, I think, overcome that fear of remodeling, but they're not mainstream.
No.
You go into Bank of America, they're not going to do it.
Yeah. And what's interesting, Paul, is I happen to check the MLS as far as active listings. It's about 24,000. And a lot of those need work. They're sitting on the market because the have-nots are lacking the granite countertop, lacking the new paint, lacking the new carpet, lacking everything necessary to make them sell.
You know, if you have the right amount of equity in your home, that cost to do those upgrades, that's the price to sell your home sometimes. It doesn't sell without.
And we have sources. If you're one of those individuals out there, we have one of our sponsors that will do, I think it's like 90 days same as cash or something like that. Or
Home Depot will do it if you've got good credit.
Yeah, just
Home Depot will go in, they'll give you
clean it up.
0% down. They'll give you a $10,000 credit line. They've got their own work guys. So, I mean, you don't need to shop for contractors. They've got, people that will do that. And for your under $500,000 homes, Home Depot is probably perfectly fine. Wouldn't you agree?
I totally agree.
If you get in the $1 million stuff, you may want a little more customization and that kind of thing.
But that's what when you work with the buyers, they walk into a house, and if it's one of the have-nots that are lacking all the things that we all know need to be done, they turn around and walk out.
They're pretty much done at that point.
And with the internet, they're so educated. I mean, that you walk into a listing and they know what the price should be because they've done the shopping on the internet.
Absolutely true. And the buyers are very savvy. They don't have access to every bit of information that realtors do. Another reason to call a good realtor.
Yeah.
And but they know what they want, and they know the value of money.
And the financing, a lot of times they don't think that they can. That's the key. We got to find these people that are renting homes. We've only got a few minutes left, but you would agree that we got to get those people pre-qualified.
Absolutely. And most agents aren't going to drive you around for days or hours or weeks in their car if they don't know that you can purchase the home. So either bring a bank statement or a pre-qual letter.
Exactly. Paul, let's get your phone number. How can people reach you?
602-315-8992.
And is there a website?
There is, www.paulholmes.us.
And that's with an L, Holmes with an L.
Like Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes type,
That's
Paul
me.
Holmes. And phone number one more time.
602-315-8992.
Jeff.
It's Jeff Obrasky, Homeowners Financial Group, 602-445-9094.
If you're driving along, don't have anything to write with, just remember the one master website, 123bz.com. We podcast after we broadcast. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back.